Okay. Jasmine Goes for a Ride by Ewer Short, aka Jasmine. It was a lazy afternoon and Jasmine was not expecting what would happen. "Come on, kitty," her pet human said. "We're going for a drive." Jasmine was put in the Jeep and off they went, down the driveway and up the street. Vroom! They went faster and faster, up and down streets and sidewalks, bouncing and swerving this way and that way. Jasmine dug her claws into the seat and held on so she wouldn't fall out. She was having fun. As they drove up one sidewalk next to all sorts of cool shops with many nice things in them, they saw people standing around talking. Their Jeep came to a stop with an abrupt screech. While there, her little human put on a funny pair of glasses and gave Jasmine a pair too. There was so much fun, Jasmine meow happily. Goodness gracious, okay. Jasmine sat patiently to go vroom vroom again. When they were done visiting the other people, one of them, named Kez, got in and they took off zooming up and down the streets. They drove so fast that Jasmine's fur was flapping. "Meow!" she exclaimed as they jumped the curb and bounced into the air. Everyone screamed as the Jeep landed and kept going. Vroom! As they flew down over a hill and made the turn into another street. The Jeep suddenly made a sharp turn to the right and flipped over. When they came to a stop, the Jeep was facing up into the sky. They were all facing up into the sky. The screams of excitement were deafening. Jasmine had dug her claws so deep into the seat that there was no way she'd let go. Kez was a big kitty, so he was safely jammed into the front seat. And Key, her human pet, was safe because she had a tight grip on the steering wheel. Everyone was safe and laughing loudly. They got out safely and managed to flip the Jeep upright. It took some time for the laughter to calm down. When it did, they climbed back in. As the giggles were tapering off, Key started the motor and they were off. Vroom! Jasmine could not remember ever having this much fun. They drove up and down the streets and met someone they knew named Chico. They raced each other around the school, the houses, the pool where the whales live, the fields, the church, the police station, and the horses. Then they saw a big hill and everyone yelled, "Let's go!" Jasmine watched with excited curiosity as they bounced up over the curb and headed right through a field of tall grass and pretty flowers. As they sped up, getting faster and faster, she could see butterflies fluttering to get out of the way and bees suddenly buzzing off in the other direction. She peeked around Kez, and what Jasmine saw was a large hill coming towards them quickly. She muttered a small squeaking chatter with her mouth hanging open. Climbing the hill, they went sailing into the air. To Jasmine, it felt as though they were flying. They flew through the air like birds, and at the peak of their jump, she felt as if she were floating on the clouds. And then they all realized the obvious. They were going down fast. The sidewalk and road were getting closer very quickly as they did an amazing free fall. There was nothing they could do but hold on tightly. Jasmine closed her eyes and let out a squeaking sound like a little mouse. The tires hit the ground and the Jeep bounced so much it nearly sent everyone out onto their behinds. but everyone held on tightly and nobody got tossed. The only minor injury was when Jasmine bit her tongue on impact, but it was hardly noticeable. She was far too excited to even care. They all burst out laughing, and it was the best ride of Jasmine's life. It didn't take long to get moving again. They headed for home to relax after an amazing, heart-pounding adventure. The end.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, Jasmine, for sharing that book with us. Okay, what shall we do next? We still got tons of time left. We could read more books, or we could do Mad Libs. More books, more books. Okay.
Hello.
Let's see what I got in my books. I could do Fox and Socks or Oh Say Can You Say? Say Can He Say? Okay. Smuggling books. Oh Say Can You Say by Dr. Seuss. It said a book-reading parrot named Huey. The words in this book are all phooey. When you say them, your lips will make slips and backflips, and your tongue may end up in St. Louis. Do you like fresh fish? It's just fine at Finney's Diner. Finney also has some fresher fish that's fresher and much finer, but his best fish is the freshest fish, and Finney says with pride, the finest fish at Finney's is my freshest fish, French fried. So, don't order the fresh or the fresher fish at Finney's. If you're wise, you'll say, fetch me the finest French fried, freshest fish with Finney fries. Ugh. I know, right? It's not nearly as bad as Fox and Socks, though. Faster! You want me to bite my tongue off? Let me try saying it by holding my tongue, okay? I'm gonna try it. And then saw out and said something. Then the Hasselhoff then You want me to reread it? Okay. We have a dinosaur named Den. Den's thin. Den doesn't have much skin, and the bones fall out of his left front shin. Then we have to call in Pinner Blend, who comes with his handy shin pin bin, and with a thin blend shin bone pin, blend pins Den's shin bones right back in. It's hard to say a tongue twister without your tongue. Alright, let me try this one. Bed spreaders spread breads around beds. Bread spreaders spread butters on breads. And that bed spreader better watch out how he's spreading, or that bread spreader sure going to butter his bedding. The whole thing? Okay, I'll read it once with my tongue held, and then once without my tongue held, okay? Bed spreaders spreads on beds. Bread spreaders spread butters on breads. And that bed spreader better watch out how he's spreading, or that bread spreader's sure going to butter his bedding. It's case, right case. As he got on the case on the plate, D ate food as he ate. The green gates are the clear saw the gala green gates case their gate. Are you having trouble with saying this stuff? It's really easy for me. I just look at it and see what I say, and then I say what I see. Ape cakes, grape cakes. As he gobbled the cakes on his plate, the greedy ape said as he ate, the greedy green grapes are, the keener keen apes are, to gobble green grape cakes, they're great. Are you having trouble in saying this stuff? It's really quite easy for me. I just look in the mirror and see what I say, and then I just say what I see.
the sources of faith, and the God was behind a lot of his lifestyles which have left her life with the little of Rothrock. So she lost into the flooded perspectives and raised on it way of lots of her and raising her horse who was her to as soon as she looked to half left, the single would, I guess. So I think the single would should have
You should leave your grocs home when you travel by air. If you take them along, they charge you double fare. And your grocs must be packed and locked up in a grocs box, which costs much, much more than a little old fox box. So it's heaps of lot cheaper to fly with your foxes than waste all that money on boxes for groxes. And what do you think costs more, a simple thimble or a single shingle? A simple thimble could cost less than a single shingle would, I guess. So I think that the single shingle should cost more than the simple thimble would.
If you like it, and
if you like to eat potato chips and chew pork chops on Clipper ships, I suggest you chew a few chips and chop at Skipper Zip's Clipper Ship Chip Chop Shop. And if your tongue is getting queasy, don't give up. The next one's easy.
The funny thing is that also I said, this is notice into the sons of the brothers. Her right paw is on top on the heads of the others. If you decide to toss them, different that is different, Jasmine does, and Rachel hers handed to her, and then her Dindu and Dungeon and Dud, and also Cinnamon and Judges and Blood, and Slinky is Sticky and Sugar is dead, and that is one is Hoyle Blood. The hood of the students has made the moon blood.
There are so many things that you really should know, and that's why I'm bothering telling you so. You should know the first names of the Fuddler brothers, who like to pile each on the heads of the others. If you start at the top, there are Bipper and Bud, and Skipper and Jipper, and Jeffrey and Judd, Horatio, Horace, and Hendrix and Hud, and then come Dinwoodle and Dinty and Dud, also Fitzsimmon and Fidrick and Fudd, and Slinky and Stinky and Stewart and Stud, and down at the bottom is poor little Lud, and if Lud ever sees us, his name will be Mud.
Quack, quack. We have two ducks, one blue, one black. And then a blue duck goes quack, quack, goes black, quack, 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 and quack, 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 there's a quack, a quacker, and that is a quicker quack, backer. And speaking of cocks, we like being cocks, and stacks, and stacks, and stacks, and snacks. So, I can say I have coffee in a sack, I have sauce in a sack, and I think there's a snack in a sack on my back.
We have two ducks, one blue, one black, and when our blue duck goes quack, quack, our black duck quickly quacks back. The quack's blue quacks make her quite a quacker, but black is a quicker quacker backer. And speaking of quacks reminds me of cracks and stacks and sacks and shacks and snacks. So, say, can you say, I have cracks in my shack, I have smoke in my stack, and I think there's a snack in the sack on my back. Quack! Oh god, this one's gonna be hard.
Upon I how to live its dishes on top of dishes, how to live dishes the best dish. It's the dish is the best dish. Which dish is left? I thought at first that the east was best and the best was good. Then I started it and the rest is the east and I like the dish on the east beach leaf.
Upon an island hard to reach, the east beast sits upon his beach. Upon the west beach sits the west beast. Each beast thinks he's the best beast. Which beast is best? Well, I thought at first that the east was best and the west was worse. Then I looked again from the west to the east, and I liked the beast on the east beach least.
This is don't after a while it doesn't matter. This is a sentence this said this has a bit said of the after I heard said this such a type
Pete breaks Pat's pigs. Breaks Pat's pink pigs, breaks Pat's big pigs. Don't ask me why, it doesn't matter. Pete breaks is a pink pig, big pig patter. Pete breaks Pat's big pink pigs all day. Don't ask me why, I cannot say. Then Pat says patted pigs away, and his Pete breaks pink pigs, big pigs, pig pen.
First is said and first is said. First is said and first is said. This is said and first is said. This was said and said is said. That is this is said this is said this is and this is said also said of the said that this said that this said.
Fritz needs Fred, and Fred needs Fritz. Fritz feeds Fred, and Fred feeds Fritz. Fred feeds Fritz with Fritzy Fred food. Fritz feeds Fred with Fritzy Fritz food. And Fritz, when fed, has often said, Fred fed Fritz, and Fred's a Fritz Fred fed. Fred.
How to tell a horse from a glass? Well, the glass is the head lots of vessels, the horse is the head lots of vessels. But the problem is that the bottom of the glass of the same vessels is lots of the head, so the first is spot. So the glasses, it is to tell the process of glasses.
How to tell a klotz from a glotz. Well, the glotz, you will notice, has lots of black spots. The klotz is quite different with lots of black dots. But the big problem is that the spots on the glotz are about the same size as the dots on the klotz. So you first have to spot who the one with the dots is, then it's easy to tell who the klotz or the glotz is.
What is that? A hospital hostile, a cupcake or a cupcake structure, a fat that crap. Or if you think you look like podcast, then you will see the task like cookie perhaps.
What would you rather be when you grow up? A cop in a cop's cap, or a cupcake cook in a cupcake cook's cap, or a fat flapjack flapper in a fat flapjack cap? Or if you think you don't like cops caps, flapjack flappers, or cupcake cook caps, maybe you're one of those choosy chaps who likes cookie captain caps hat, perhaps. Should I wait for her? Okay. How long is this book? My tongue's gonna fall off. Somebody fetch a litter box! Does anybody else need a potty break before they wet themselves?
I know, right?
You got pull-ups.
Well, and then says, the hazard of this friend inside of this case is actually to its unintention. Although that is the terms and the I saw it as an husband had a visit to the sectors and quickly fixing it friends other than.
Well, when Blinn comes home tired from his work pinning shins, the happiest hour of old Blinn's day begins. Mr. Blinn is the father of musical twins who, tucking twin instruments under their twin chins, lull their daddy to sleep with twin Blinn violins. And, oh, say can you say, far in Berlin, a musical urchin named Gretchen von Schwinn has a blue-footed, true-footed, slick-fingered, six-fingered, six-stringed tin twin mandolin. I think next time we do Fox and Socks at the campfire bonfire thing, all the counselors need to hold their tongues.
It's a hot accent. It's a hot accent. First is so strong and then lose it so long. But it's a delicious as a hoop. As a death and best the host is so and those are his so fun.
If you hope to wash soup off a rope, simply scrub it with soap. Soap is so strong and that no rope is too long. But if you should wish to wash soup off a hoop, I suggest that it's best to let your whole silly souped-up hoop soak in Soapy Cooper's super soaped-off hoop soak suds.
One has spots, maybe has nothing much. But I don't think it has a soap, but it's not.
One year we had a Christmas brunch with Merry Christmas mush to munch, but I don't think you care for such. We didn't like to munch much.
And this is Christmas. Here are the same sisters as the daddy. As the dad says that, and the dad says, I heard and the son of certain. But the dad is joy, and her little said that no, this is joy. The letter is a bright side, just like night side light.
And speaking of Christmas, here are some great gifts to give to your daddy. If your daddy's name is Jim, and if Jim swims and if Jim's slim, the perfect Christmas gift for him is a set of Slim Jim swim fins. But if your daddy's name is Dwight and he likes to look at birds at night, the gift for Dwight that might be right is a bright Dwight bird flight night sight light.
But that is the daddy and daughters. I love the successes and daughters set. And all the success is in that. And all the success with that's what success. The college is this is this year. And that's almost enough of success to them. They don't know in the sense of taking the day.
But never give your daddy a walrus. A walrus with whiskers is not a good pet, and a walrus which whispers is even worse yet. When a walrus When a walrus
I know, right?
Okay, I'm redoing it. A walrus with whiskers is not a good pet, and a walrus, why do I keep saying walrus? Walrus, which whispers it's worse even yet. When a walrus whispers through tough, rough, wet whiskers, your poor daddy's ear will get blispers and bliskers. And that's almost enough for such stuff for one day. When more and you're finished, oh, say, can you say? Yes, my tongue is getting tired, The page said bliskers. One more page. The song starts with the dot 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 and the dot 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 and the dot dot dot. The storm starts when the drops start dropping. When the drops stop dropping, then the storm starts stopping. The end. I have to end the dark and all the laugh, and now it's the time, and let's go. You're welcome. Go have fun. I'm gonna go bury my head under the rock.